Part 10 is the final part from Mobile Bay to New Orleans. I left the anchorage inside the point at dawn after a noisy night with the anchor chain rattling on the rocky bottom. The anchor held all right.
Crossing over the main shipping channel, Mobile Bay. Main starboard hand mark there. Nice flat morning. Shine. The anchor near that rig there, still working, flaring off gas. Main shipping channel.
Crossed the shipping channel with little traffic and headed across to the Pas aux Herons and under the massive Dauphin Island Bridge and into the Mississippi Sound. Pan signalled to look out for two girls lost overboard in the Pascagoula shipping channel. Poor things. More ships in the Pascagoula shipping channel than in the Mobile channel, and very narrow between guano-covered marks. Is it one way for ships? Into Biloxi by early afternoon, and in plenty of time to meet Don for breakfast the next morning. Cycled over the bridge to shop in Ocean Springs. No evidence of the massive 30-foot storm surge from Hurricane Katrina that devastated the area. I remember this amazing shot of a casino picked up and dumped on the highway. The power of nature. A great example of Americans overcoming problems, cleaning up and getting things done.
That's where I was in Cadet Marina. That's where I should have been, in the small craft harbour. Never mind. Good place to stop.
Next morning I eventually met up with Don for breakfast. I had tied up in the wrong marina. We had corresponded through the Albin owners group, and I was eager to see his Albin, identical to mine, that he was renovating. He's made a lovely job of it, and after tens of thousands of dollars and years of man-hours later, he has now splashed her in 2016.
Hard to imagine Katrina wiped it out. That car park, you had to be on the second floor to avoid the flood, the surge. Second floor.
After 2 days in friendly Biloxi, I motored along the vast Mississippi Sound in a flat calm, being eaten alive by yellow flies.
Mississippi Delta. get under that. Good abreast. So, flood control measures. The big berm there. These are flood control gates. All being built since Katrina. Goes off with a concrete wall going for miles. There's a hell of a current through here. Massive engineering works.
The new flood defensives are impressive. Anchored 2 hours short of New Orleans, in peaceful Bayou Bienvenue, finding space in a forest of crab pots. Next day motored into New Orleans and up to the lock into the Mississippi River. I didn't want to trouble them going through, as I had chosen a marina this side of the lock, so turned and headed into the inner harbour navigation channel. A train was crossing, so had to wait. The first time since leaving Charleston 1700 miles ago that I've had to wait for a bridge to open. Pulled into Seabrook Marina and stayed 3 nights, taking the bus into the French Quarter, and loved New Orleans. Good food, good music, and lovely people.
Please do not try that at home. Try it at work, so if you hurt yourself, you can sue. Surveillance of life.
Only a week left of my US tourist visa and my flight back to the UK, so wanted to check out marinas in the area to lay up Free State for the hurricane season. The north shore of Lake Pontchartrain had many marinas, so motored across the huge lake to pretty Bayou Bonfouca and up to Slidell, where a new municipal marina was proposed. No marina yet, but a sheltered mooring at the Freetown dock, though the passing trains made the ground shake. Next day took the North Fork into Liberty Bayou and spent 2 nights in Bayou Liberty Marina and toured the area by bike. The lake had a light chop driving west to Mandeville, where I tied up to the Freetown dock outside Pontchartrain Yacht Club, whose members made me very welcome. Tom kindly drove me round the half-dozen or more marinas there, all very sheltered. The wind had picked up for my next hop west to Madisonville, which required getting under the causeway. The 20-mile fetch over water 2 fathoms deep cut the lake up rough, so the inshore section of the causeway looked a bit tight with occasional 6-foot waves. So I slogged into the wind and a horrible short chop to get to the 22-foot clear causeway inner bridge, a couple of miles offshore. Once through with the wind and waves aft, it was an easier run to the shallow and twisty entrance to the Chifunka River. The chart said that the Madisonville swing bridge had a closed height of 1 foot, so I expected to have to wait. However, when we got the bridge in sight, the outside curving underside of the bridge seemed to give us room. I lowered the VHF aerial and, standing on the deck, sighted along it for confirmation that we could squeeze under. It turned out we had a foot to spare. The clouds ahead were turning black as I tied up to the Freetown dock. I turned to a hail to see Tom from Mandeville, who said, "Come for brunch." What a pleasant surprise and jolly company. Later I motored up the twisty, tree-lined river to Merino Beauchene for the night and supper with my new friends. I saw my first alligator eating hamburgers below the restaurant. Calm the next day as I motored across Lake Pontchartrain back to Seabrook Marina. Though the natives were very friendly on the North Shore, Hurricane Katrina had wreaked havoc there as she had in New Orleans. I decided Seabrook offered the best protection in the area behind the new multi-billion-dollar defences. Also, there was no public transport across the causeway to the airport, just a $100 taxi fare. Some statistics. I had travelled about 1,800 miles in 40 days, calling into 4 marinas for 230 gallons of diesel, costing $734. I stayed 6 nights in 3 marinas on the way to New Orleans, costing $270, plus $50 for 2 nights in Liberty Bayou on the North Shore. 8 nights at Freetown docks, 1 night crossing the Gulf, and other nights at anchor. Free State was hauled out, and I spent the last day cleaning her inside and out before catching the first of 4 flights to get home to London. She is still for sale for $18,000, but if there are no takers, then I will be back in April for another adventure. Thank you, America. Another wonderful adventure.